Today I'm talking with Iggy Pintado. Following a career in marketing and online management for the likes of IBM and Telstra, Iggy co-founded a business networking consultancy called ConnectGen. Iggy is a super connected networker on LinkedIn, Plaxo, Facebook and Twitter, and has earned his place in the top 25 list of the most connected business networkers in Australia. His first book, Connection Generation, has recently hit the bookstores and looks set to become a bestseller. Our topic, not surprisingly, is the connected business. Hello, Iggy.
Hi, Robert. Thanks for having me.
So, Iggy, I've heard you say on a few occasions that today it's less about communication and more about connection. Explain a little further, if you would.
Sure. The traditional ways of communicating, Robert, that we've always had, face-to-face communications, phone, talking to each other at the pub, all those are still very valid ways of communicating. And for businesses, doing radio, doing television, doing emails are still very, very valid. But what's happening is there's been a transformation. And the transformation's been caused by technology, what I call connection technology. And it's technology like Google, like YouTube, like LinkedIn, like Facebook. And what it is it's because customers actually want to connect better with businesses. They want to interact, they want to participate, they want to collaborate. And I call that connection. They want to connect better with the people that they're doing business with.
And is the drive coming that way around? It's more the customer wanting to connect than it is the business wanting to connect with the customer?
Yeah, I think so. I think 15 years ago when search engines became very big, the Googles and the Yahoos, it kind of opened the window for the customer to take more control about finding out more about business offerings. And in this day and age, if you're not a business who has some sort of presence and some sort of way of interacting with a customer online, then you're going to miss out on some opportunities potentially.
Big time.
Yeah.
So I know you have a little means of kind of summarising, if you like, what we need to do as businesses to really make the most of these opportunities. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, sure. I call it P.L.A.N. It's an acronym, and it basically is personalise, listen, activate, and nurture. So the first one is personalise, and it's one of those situations where I talk to lots of businesses and I ask them, how well do you know your top 10 customers? Are you able to pick up the phone and call them and ask them out to dinner or invite them to the footy or invite them to the opera?
And what kind of response do you get to a question?
Well, the response is actually quite bad,
right,
because they don't actually have that relationship. I've had certain situations where the CEOs or the managing directors have actually said, oh no, we leave that to our sales guy to handle those relationships.
So it's one step back. The business owner doesn't actually know who or where the most important relationships are.
Absolutely, and I think that it's absolutely critical in this day and age that you do develop that personalisation or that connection with the stakeholder or the senior decision maker of any business, because if you don't, a competitor will.
Okay, so that was P, L.
That's it. The L is listen. Lots of companies spend money on research. They get research companies that do a lot of research on their customers, but I think at a very base level you can actually do your own research. Like you can find out about organisations and individuals you're about to do business with just by a simple Google or Yahoo search. The other is listening to some of the conversations that are going on. I'm an active user of Twitter.
I thought you might be.
Yeah, and for me, Twitter isn't necessarily a broadcast technology. It's not about constantly putting messages out there. It's also about listening to what people are saying. I always listen to the trending topics. I listen to various conversations about brands and products and companies. And to me, that's where you can find out what's really happening at a grassroots level.
So to use Twitter then specifically, you're not one of these people who goes out to get as many possible followers as you can, but you choose, by the sounds of it, very carefully who you decide to follow for exactly that kind of listening reason.
Yeah, exactly. I don't necessarily follow the people who tell me that they're just about to walk their dog or they're brushing their teeth or those sort of people.
I follow all of those.
Yeah, I follow the people who have actually got something to share or want to interact with me or want to give me something or provide something that is value to me.
Okay.
And I think that's really critical. And that's the listening skill. That's actually listening to what's going on and learning from it.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we've gone personalise, listen, we're on to A.
The next one's activate. Okay. I'm sure you've had the experiences of many people where you sign up with a business for whether it be a telco for a contract or whether it's buying a plasma screen, and that's the last you ever hear of the organisation.
Yep.
I think it's really important to activate those connections, to actually have some sort of post-sales plan so that you keep that connectivity or that connection going with that particular customer, because you never know when they're going to make a decision for another one of your products or services. And if you maintain that connection, that conversation, that participation with them at some level, whether it be on a blog or whether it be on Facebook or LinkedIn, then I think you've got a better opportunity of actually retaining that customer over time.
Okay, so it's very consciously, when you start a relationship with a new customer, a new client, you're saying activate some means of kind of communication, some means of connection.
Correct. In one of the companies that I worked for, we actually had a contact cadence, which meant that we had
contact cadence.
Yeah, we had a disciplined process where we had to make sure that we stayed in touch with those customers over a period of time. We had to contact them specifically once every 2 months, whether it be by email or a phone call, but we had to touch that customer in some way.
Right.
And I think that's really important, because that's, again, that connection that can't be changed.
And it's so often, unfortunately, again, I see quite a lot in small business where we're so sort of grateful for the sale that we've got a sale, and the relationship thereon is not something that we give enough thought to.
That's right. And you've hit the nail on the head. It's about relationships. Selling these days is more and more about relationships, about trusting, about making sure that you stay connected with that particular customer.
Okay, P.L.A.N.
N's nurture, and nurture is really about being there for the sale when the opportunity arises. I have a mantra that I talk about, Robert, which is that every connection that I make is a potential social or business opportunity. So I do like to connect with people on Facebook and LinkedIn, selectively on Twitter, because I believe that every one of those is a potential opportunity for me one day, and I like to nurture those relationships. One of the things I do on Facebook, which is you know, quite a simple thing to do, is that when I connect with you on Facebook, people ask me, I've got 800 odd connections on Facebook, and you go, how do you stay connected with 800 people? Well, I have a little application which remembers their birthdays, and so every morning I'll go on and just see whose birthday it is, and I'll send them a little message and say, happy birthday. That's my way of connecting with them and nurturing that relationship at least once a year.
Yes, okay. Excellent. And a very small step, but it's meaningful. I mean, these things do work well, don't they?
Well, contacting them on their special day, they're more amenable to actually reading the message, and I think they also appreciate the fact that someone's taken the time to do it.
Okay. Now, one other question I'd love to ask you. You're one of Australia's 25 most connected people, yeah? Correct. How does that benefit you directly? How is that kind of working for you in your business?
Yeah, well, as I said, I do believe that every connection is a potential social or business opportunity. So it may not be an opportunity that I realise straight away. It might be an opportunity that I will realise over a period of time as I develop connections. I shouldn't and don't make a secret of the fact that I'm an author and I'm selling a book, and I want to connect with everyone who's going to buy my book. So my 6,000 plus connections on LinkedIn are all potential buyers of my book. So I want to stay connected with them.
And if they don't buy it, they'll talk to other people about it at least. So
that's exactly correct.
We better have the title of your book one more time now.
The book is called Connection Generation.
Okay. And if you want to find out more about you, Iggy, we go to
www.iggypintado.com, and the official site for the book is www.connectiongeneration.com.
Okay, Iggy, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Robert.